Welcome back, everyone, to the smartest year ever, our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalists. My name is Gordy, and I was just wondering, what if I told you that the tallest mountain in the solar system makes Mount Everest look like a measly speed bump? Give me 5 minutes. I bet you can work this into a conversation today. Also, like and subscribe so you can keep up. I do this every single day. Okay, let me hit you with some comparisons to put Mars's Olympus Mons in perspective. Olympus Mons doesn't just beat out Everest, it humiliates it. Everest tops out at about 29,000 feet. Olympus Mons, roughly 72,000 feet tall. That's like 2.5 Everests stacked, and at 370 miles across, it's so wide that it could blanket the entire state of Arizona. From base to summit, you'd be climbing higher than most commercial airlines fly, and if you stood on one side of Olympus Mons, you wouldn't even see the other. Like if you were just viewing it all, you couldn't even see the entire thing because the curve of Mars itself would block it from view. Mauna Kea in Hawaii is technically Earth's tallest mountain. A little extra fun fact for you. If you measure from base to summit, as most of it is underwater, so when you count from the seafloor, it rises about 33,500 feet, taller than Everest. But even with that advantage, Mauna Kea is still less than half the height of Olympus Mons. Oceans or no oceans, Mars still wins the tallest mountain contest by a landslide. So why does Mars get the solar system's ultimate mountain bragging rights? Well, there are two main reasons: weak gravity and no plate tectonics. Mars's gravity is only about 38% of Earth's, so volcanic rock can pile up without collapsing under its own weight. And unlike Earth, where tectonic plates shift across hot spots, think of Hawaii, where the crust just keeps moving and the lava vent has to start over, which gives us little chains of islands, things like that. But Mars's crust sits still. That means lava just keeps pouring out at the same place for millions of years, slowly stacking higher and higher until the planet ends up with a gigantic mountain. And despite its ridiculous scale, Olympus Mons isn't some spiky peak. It's a shield volcano, which is a broad dome-shaped volcano built almost entirely from fluid lava flows with very gentle slopes that spread out like a warrior's shield, hence the name. The slope of Olympus Mons is so gradual, at least that you'll read online, that if you were walking up it, you might not even notice you were climbing a mountain until you looked back and you realized you were already miles above the plains. It would be more of a gradual uphill stroll than a climb per se. And I think this is a cool visual that kind of puts it in perspective of how gradual it is compared to other mountains right there. The summit Caldera, the hole in the volcano, is monstrous. It's 50 miles wide with multiple collapsed craters. And also along the edges of the mountain, there are some cliffs that drop 4 miles straight down, which is taller than Denali, which formerly known as Mount McKinley, the tallest mountain in the United States. As for its age, scientists estimate Olympus Mons began forming around 200 million years ago, but interestingly, it might have erupted as recently as 25 million years ago. And doesn't sound that recent, you might say, but in geological time, that's relatively recent. That's like last Tuesday in the grand scheme of things. Which means Mars may not be as geologically dead as previously thought. Humans first spotted this Leviathan mountain in the 19th century with telescopes, mistaking it for bright snows, and thus it was named Nix Olympica, Nix meaning snow. That illusion held until 1971 when NASA's Mariner 9 probe orbited Mars and revealed the truth that, hey, that's not snow, guys. That's a mega volcano, unlike anything that we've ever seen on the Earth. Today, it's one of the most famous landmarks in the solar system, so you can imagine how big of a tourist attraction it's going to be in 100 years or so, maybe sooner, maybe never. I don't know, you tell me. Hiking Olympus Mons would be a slow trudge up a slope mild enough that you may be able to push a Martian baby in a stroller up it, depending on your lower body strength, really, and how you're adjusting to the conditions of Mars. But the real problem wouldn't be the incline as much as it would be surviving the near vacuum with Mars's temperatures that would just drop to minus 100 degrees at night. So there you have it, though. Olympus Mons isn't just Mars's biggest bump, it's the heavyweight champion of mountains anywhere we've looked. dwarfing anything Earth has to offer. Go check out my sources, which can be found in the YouTube description. Leave me a comment, rate, like, subscribe, share this with someone who likes this sort of thing. What is the highest elevation you've been at that you remember being at? I have to think about it. I know Mexico City is pretty high, and I think it's higher than Denver. I know I've been to Colorado Peaks. Cusco, Peru? How tall is that? That's what All right, I'm back. Cusco is over 11,000 feet. So I think that's probably the highest I've been, somewhere around there in the Andes. What's the highest elevation you've ever been at? Go check out the short version. I do have all of these. I do the little shorts on social media. You can find me at Smartest Year Ever on social media platforms for that little condensed version. And in the meantime, stay curious and stay clever on our quest to become the world's greatest conversationalist. That was September. I'm going to finally change my shirt tomorrow in the Smartest Year Ever.